So I have an old sausage stuffer. Shapleigh Hardware Company. This is made in St. Louis. Patented 1897. So this is an old style. Got a crank. Big worm gear that comes down. Worm gear, I don't know what to call it. I want to clean it up. What I'm going to be doing is an electrolysis tank. All right, so we got our tank. I used about a quarter red, positive, black, negative. It's pretty simple. So we're gonna start with this piece here. It's not touching. Now you know how it's working, is because I just saw a bunch of sparks come off of that. 12 volts, and I'm gonna show you guys the bubbles. Okay. See all the bubbles? I'll sit it in there until it's done, which is however long it needs to take. And it's about as simple as that. Previous, this is very shiny now. A lot shiny, okay? So what I did is in preparation for priming and painting, I like to hit these with a wire wheel, okay? So this is a type of a wire wheel. These little areas, all right, I'm gonna take the brush, and I'm just gonna get it in there. All right. So now that we have these cleaned up and they're bare metal, very shiny, I've got some high heat primer. I want the paint to stay. Primer and high heat ceramic coatings hold up the best, the greatest amount of chip resistance. We're going to use this. What we're going to do is we're going to do a sweeping motion. I also use one of these little spray heads, okay? We're not going to whip through it, okay? We just want a sweeping motion. We want it smooth and consistent. Over and again, okay? We want to get a nice, good layer on there. But you don't want to sit there. It's sweeping, so you're moving. You don't want it to run. You just want it to cover it, okay? Very simple, very easy. Don't mess it up. So now that we have gotten all the pieces, we ran them through the electrolysis tank, we took wire wheels, we removed all that rust. Any pieces that needed to be seasoned in an oven have been seasoned. And now the bare metal pieces have been primered, like this, okay? Primered and coated with their top coat, which would be similar to this, okay? So now, since this is a high heat temperature paint, a ceramic type of paint, we need to bake it on. Right now, this paint is still very fragile. It is still considerably exposed to oils, scratches, or chips. And since this is something that will be used, we don't want happening is that paint coming off when in contact with that food grade type of oil. So this is just a primer and finish coated. You want to do your baking after your primer and your top coat has been completed. When painting these materials, you put your primer on, just do one coat, and you're going to let it at least air dry, a minimum of 1 to 2 hours. You can let it air dry overnight, 1 to 2 hours, so that way you don't have overlapping coats where the solvent can no longer evaporate. Because what will happen is when you bake it, to bake that on, you will get pinholes in there, okay? And those pinholes will allow and compromise the structural integrity of that paint surrounding your part. So now, since we're going to go into the paint, we're going to follow the manufacturer's specifications. They require baking for 30 minutes at 225 and then allowing it to cool for 30 minutes and then ramping that up to 400 for 30 minutes, allowing it to cool for 30 minutes, and then ramping that up to 600 for 30 minutes, allowing it to cool for 30 minutes. Only thing is you cannot put direct flame onto this, as you will damage the paint. So it has to be in some type of heating apparatus that does not direct flame with indirect heat coming in there, and something you can temperature control for an allotted period of time. This paint releases VOCs, it's volatile organic compounds, so I will be using an outside oven. Upon that, any pieces that are little like that, it'd be hard to see. Ooh, I just about dropped it. So I just created these little hooks. They're gonna hook on the rack, just sit on there like that. On large pieces like this, I don't know if the rack will hold that. I will do a quick test to find out. However, it does have multiple holes that, things can be hooked through. A little bit sturdier there. Any piece that will be touching food, anywhere on it, that has no paint, no primer, that was seasoned. Food grade oil, I still seasoned it for rust prevention. And then same for this. Now this will need to be seasoned again. 1-inch socket, 7/16 nut. And then we're gonna use a little anti-seize compound on these threads here. Oh no, this side, okay. I had that backwards, okay. So this actually comes in. Just like that. Finger tight, like this. We need this to still be able to move.
What?
I'm shooting. We're gonna start with this gear first. Okay. We're just gonna come in, we're gonna slide that in. Washer. We have a secondary washer. I can't get it. There's a lock ring on this, and this is stainless steel. Rings there kind of help with it. Our washer's in. So now this gear slides in here. All right. Now this will be the tricky part. This shaft needs to be inserted from the bottom up through here, and it will have to be hand fed, okay? Now on the inside of this, as you can see, this shaft has a groove, okay? When you get this up in here, that groove needs to line in to here, okay? All right, so that's it. There are 3 oil ports, one here, and one here. So this was the reassembly of this sausage stuffer. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful and you enjoyed the content, make sure to go ahead and like and subscribe. Every subscriber helps me continue to make more content. If there's something that you're not quite understanding, put it down in the comments.